Hi Sylvanus, I wanted to do a quick video to show you how to do quizzes. So I'll start from the front of your course. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Okay, so what I did, and if you want me to remove these, I can do it via Codex. It'll just take a few seconds, but for each module I had it create an overview page just so that tells students what to expect, and you can edit those. So like you have the overview here for module 1. It's got what they need to read, what they need to do, and you know, we could also add an in-class section, like if you're gonna have them do certain things in class, and you just edit this the normal way with the editor. Shouldn't have any problem. Just go in here and you can replace the text. The only thing that might be a little bit difficult are these containers, so if you need any of this changed, just let me know, and I can do it. So going back to the modules page, what I had, the program that I had done is on your textbook site. We have the Word document, test bank. Some of them were formatted differently than themselves. I think chapter 6 and 7 were different. I don't know why they did that. In fact, chapter 7 was completely unusable the way they wrote it. I had to use AI and reconfigure it to Aiken and then run it through the AI test creator and output it to the right file format. Anyway, but each module I had it put in a practice with 40 questions, and then I had to do an in-class assessment, random 40 questions from the same bank. So it's essentially the same quiz. So the idea would be that they can practice, you know, the problems, and it's random, 40 questions randomly, but it cycles through like 130, 150, however many in the bank. So if they take it once, the second time they get pretty much different questions, the third time they get different questions, and then after the third time they start to see questions again. I mean, it's random, so they might see, there's really no rhyme or reason to it. I wasn't aware that there were essay and different question types in the file. I honestly didn't look at it close enough. If you didn't want that, you can delete them from the bank and then still randomize, or you can do it. I'm going to show you how to do a custom quiz. So that's what it did. And if you don't want those, I can have AI blow that out of the course. It'd be a pain to. This is the way you remove them. Is you got to go to each one. If I can get unhighlighted here, each one, and then you do remove, and that deletes it out. So if I wanted to add another one, I would go over to quizzes, and I would do a new quiz and choose new quizzes and click submit, and it's going to open up the quiz generator. So I'll just put quiz example, chapter 1. I'm trying to think what to call this so you'll maybe remember. Selected questions. Okay, and then let's say it's worth 20 points. Put it in your category for quizzes. You don't need to worry about submission type. And then if you knew the due date and time, you'd put that in, and how long it's available from until time. So if you put a due date, that's good. And then available from, so if it's due on like Monday, you'd put, or due Sunday midnight, and it's available from the previous Monday. And you could leave it open until the following Wednesday. That lets the students submit late work, kind of like Moodle did. Anyway, so you do build. Because I loaded your question banks in, you can do your quiz differently. So at this point in time, you could literally just add your own questions by clicking the add button here, or you can jump up to item banks, and it's going to open your bank. So it gives you chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So let's say you want to do chapter 1. You select that chapter, and it'll load all the questions. So if you wanted to custom create the quiz by choosing the individual questions, you would just cycle through and add by hitting the add button, and it'll add individual questions to the quiz. There's no randomization, none of that. It's just a straight up quiz that you create normally, and then it auto grades. If you wanted it to be all at random, if you click this button, it basically puts them all in there. So it'll do this, and then when you you close this box right here, and when you click this, it gives you options. Use all questions, so that means it would just use all 100 and whatever 36 questions that are in there. Or you could select randomly select questions, and then how many questions from the bank. And I think if it's like, let's try 150. It should tell you. I would think it would tell you how many are in there, but you might have to just look and see. I think there's 136 in this one, but you just type that, and then how many points per question. So that's how you would do the randomized one. So if you didn't want that, you would delete that, remove the question, and that question, it seems like it's one, but it actually is pulling like however many you want randomly. So if you wanted to do it where you're selecting them, you'd say, okay, I want this question, add that to the quiz. And let's say you wanted this one, you'd add that one to the quiz. And you just go through and just add as many as you wanted and create the quiz. And let's say you wanted this one. I'm trying to get a few in here. And we'll add that one. It's not very intuitive when you do this. It doesn't seem like anything's happening, but it's actually adding them in. Like you can see, we got 8. Let's do another one, 9. And 10. Oh, that was an essay there, so I'll add, these are all essay right here. So there's one, and it tells you what they are right here. Fill in the blank, and then essays up here. So let's add that one. Now, if you didn't want one, you can close this box, and then like that essay we just put in by accident, you just scroll down to find the essay one. Let's see, multiple choice, fill in the blank. Oh, I guess it didn't go in. I could have swore I put an essay in here. If you didn't want it, you just hit the trash can button. It'll delete that question. Once you have it set to the way you want it, you would just go ahead and return, and you're good to go. So if you go in here now, you can go here to preview it, go down here to build, and up here it's loading it. And you got all your questions, yeah, so and you can preview it, what it looks like, and it's good to preview it as a student. That's one thing I didn't do. Sometimes there's image issues. I don't suspect we're gonna have any, so that's what the quiz will look like. Then you can exit the preview. If you wanted to preview it as a student, you just go into probably the quizzes area, and let's check and see here. Actually, just go to the home page. I should have, yeah, and then student view, and I'll go into one of the other quizzes that we already made. So let's go in. Well, actually, none of them are published, so you have to have them published before you can see them in student view. So I don't suspect there'll be any problems with the student view. Once in a while, there's a problem with viewing images, but I don't think that's the case. I can check that later. But that's how you can create a custom quiz, choosing your questions, choosing all of the bank questions, or randomizing. That's the 3 ways. And that's only because I imported those as item banks. And then that allows you to do the new quizzes. And one last thing on quizzes is when you see these, if they have a filled in rocket ship, that's a new quiz. If it were just the outline, it would be a classic quiz. We didn't have to do classic quizzes because I got item banks to work. So I hope that helps clear some things up. Let me check your email, make sure I answered everything. So that's how you can create the assessment. Yeah, so that should answer all your questions. Now I will say that I need to check this, but in the I think the Wiley textbook publisher site, when you go in there, they have Canvas, and I think you can add stuff to that Canvas shell you have, and you might be able to export it and then import it into your Canvas. I'll look into that and see what I can find and let you know. Also, let me know if you would be interested in that. All right, hope that kind of helps you out there and clears things up with quizzes. Hope you have a good day.